First off, I want to thank everybody for tuning in and checking out my videos. I appreciate everybody that takes the time to watch them, and I really hope it teaches you guys something, so thank you for watching. Now, let me explain. I've been utterly depressed for this last month because of two main reasons. One being my father, and the second being my vehicle. They both turned into life lessons. So that is the purpose for this video, to simply share a few of my moments of despair which blossomed into lessons I will pass on to those watching this video and whomever else I may run into in life. I'll get to my dad in a bit because I want to focus on my own problems first. About 1.5 months ago, we were grabbing groceries and I parked the car and I got out, and just like I do every single time, I got out to look back at the car, and when I did, there were what I thought watermarks on my tire, and it turned out not to be water. So I thought a dog maybe peed on my rim. Normally happens, dogs pee on rims to mark their territory, and so I thought that's what it was. But then when my girl stepped out and saw it, and she said, "Oh, that doesn't look like water, that looks like oil." And so I squatted down and looked up underneath my vehicle, and of course it was pissing oil. It was literally gushing it out. So I panicked. We were about an hour away from home, and so luckily we were at a Walmart. I ran inside and grabbed a big 6 quart jug of oil, and I topped it off, and we got groceries like we needed to do, and then got back home. And once I got home, I popped the hood, and I saw my under tray. I'll post a picture up because I feel like I got a picture of it. I looked, and all of that down there was just covered in oil. The silver you see down there right now, all of that was just brown and dirty and mucky. All of that silver right there, all this was coated in oil. Everything was soaked down here. And so when I saw that, I immediately assumed that it was this issue that most Subarus have. And if you can't tell, this is a Subaru engine. So Subaru engines, they have flat engines where the heads sit on the side and the block is in the middle. When you have an engine design like that, you have a timing chain cover on the front. Now that timing chain cover, the head and the engine, there's a three-way meeting point on both sides of your engine when it comes to Subarus. And now this is the problem that people talk about or joke about Subarus, is when they start leaking oil, that Subarus just leak oil. It's a thing. I mean, it is, and it kind of isn't a thing. They're not supposed to, but because of that three-way meeting point, it's very likely to leak oil from that spot. And so for about 7 years now, I've owned this car for about 10 years now. For about 7 years of that, I've had a slow drip on my driver's side in that exact location I just told you about. And so I wasn't too concerned because I was only topping off about half a quart of oil every 3 to 4 months, which wasn't an issue to me. I wasn't burning oil, and still isn't, so I wasn't concerned about that. But then when I lifted the hood and I saw it pissing oil and this covered in oil, I immediately panicked and thought that, oh no, my seals have failed, and my valve cover is going to need to be resealed, or maybe my heads need to be resealed. And so I immediately became depressed because I already knew what that price was going to be. This was about to be a $2,500 to $3,000 job at a shop, because they would have to either take the engine out, remove some of the accessory items you see here, like the alternator, the compressor, all the pulleys, and then take the timing chain cover off, clean it, reseal it, and put it back on if that was the leak. Like I said, it could have been one of those while you're in their jobs where they find more problems, so I just didn't want to deal with that. And because of that, I got real depressed, and so I just didn't want to look at this vehicle anymore. I stopped looking at it for about a month and a half. It just sat, and then finally, a day came, and something told me to go back out and check on the vehicle. I got back out here, and I looked around some more, found out my battery was dead, so I went and got a new battery. But before I did that, I went ahead and fired the car up using my other vehicle to jump it off. Once it jumped off, I was able to find the leak, and oh my goodness, you guys have no idea the amount of relief Oh my God, the amount of relief I felt when I found out that it was a hose. It was a hose that was leaking from my oil cooling line. And so what happened was, I'm assuming that it rubbed against the frame, and over time it ate right through the steel sheath and right through the rubber line on the inside, and just busted. And it was gushing. When I say gushing, it was gushing oil out everywhere. And so for a month and a half, I stood in my own way and stopped myself from enjoying my baby here. And so that was the first life lesson, right? That numero uno life lesson right there. And that leads me to my next reason of despair for the last 1.5 months. And that was my father, my dad, and this whole YouTube stuff, right? Now, I love my dad, right? Like, he's the reason I even have this vehicle. When I graduated college, he paid half down for this vehicle and got this thing for me. This was my dream car, y'all. And he did that. Like, so I appreciate that man for everything he's done for me. And I will forever be grateful for what he did. But when it comes to him and this YouTube stuff, that shit makes me want to quit, yo. The reason being, it's not that he's not supportive or anything. I'm replacing a fitting, because when I did cut off a section of hose that was leaking and reattached the hose back, the fitting started leaking from a hole like this right here, from that pin. And for those of you that don't know, if that pin starts leaking, if you start seeing oil from that pin, that your fitting, the seal on the fitting is screwed. So you're gonna need a new fitting if that happens. Just, heads up. Like I said, multiple tutorials in one here, you guys. We're fixing this fitting, replacing it, so you guys get to see me put an AN fitting line together. Oh, right. So my dad in YouTube. It's not that he's not supportive about what I'm doing. He is. Like I said, probably one of the most supportive people I know. The issue is that even if this channel blows up, it kind of doesn't really matter to me. I say that as in, I don't think I'm going to be able to fully appreciate, enjoy what comes with that. Mainly because he won't be able to see it. When I say he won't be able to see it, it's not because, he's just like in a place where you can't watch it. It's because he's going blind, y'all. It's what they call diabetic neuropathy. What happens is your diabetes becomes so bad that the blood vessels in your eyes become weak. Now, when this happens and the blood vessels become weak, the vessels explode. They bust. When they do that, they leak out blood. When they leak out blood into your eyeballs. And then when they leak out blood, you guys ever played 007 GoldenEye? You know when you get shot and the screen goes red? That's basically what happens. Screen goes red for him. Except for there's no respawn point for him. The screen goes red. And, oh look, see, this is how you know you're doing it right. When that rubber hose on the inside, when you got the brightest steel line, it's backed all the way up to the lip of the inside of your fitting. That's where you want this. And then before you thread on your fitting, make sure you put a little bit of oil around this. That way you don't tear your hose, because that will happen. Now, so your blood vessels bust out, they bleed into your eye, and in a matter of days, that blood that has leaked into your eyeball will oxidize. When it oxidizes, it goes black. When it goes black, it blocks the eye from getting any light, and when that happens, your brain doesn't process images like it should anymore, and so you go blind. His left eye is completely gone. His right eye is blurry. It was a life lesson for me. Like I said, the life lesson in it was that we need to appreciate everything we have when we have it. Because you know, it might disappear sometimes. Might disappear. But yeah. We're gonna get a little bit of oil on here. Let me see if I can get some out of this little tip right here. Come on, come here, girl. Give me some oil, babe. Hold on. There we go. Got a little bit of oil coming out. Look at that. How about that? Easy peasy. Got some oil on it. Let's set that towel to the side. Angle this some more. Oops. Okay. There we go. And now, usually when you're making an AN fitting line, you want to do this on a vise. But I don't like doing things the right way anyways. And so, we're going to do it like this. And I guarantee you it's going to work out fantastic because I've done it like this before. So you just want to grab the back of your hose. Alright, make sure it's butted down all the way. And what I like to do is I'm going to grab a tissue because I can feel a wire trying to jab me. And if you've ever messed with steel braided line, you know it can be painful. So from here, what we're going to do is just going to feed this in. There. And you should feel it plop right into that rubber hose, okay? Shouldn't take too much fighting. And then this, when you're screwing this in, it shouldn't take a lot of resistance either. It should screw in pretty easily. Until you start getting to where it gets at the bottom. And make sure you push this down onto your fitting as you're going down. Because you don't want your hose backing out as you're screwing this down. Because if that happens, well then, this is not going to sit well. You're going to leak again. And then you'll have to redo it. So, do it right the first time. That way we don't have to do it again. Yep. I had to get a vice grip and another AN wrench to start tightening this down because it started getting a little tight on me. And so, like I said, this is a part of it too. It's going to happen. It's going to get a little tight on you. But you still shouldn't have that much fight, right? Like, it should be pretty easy to tighten up. You see, this ain't taking no fight at all. This is just... going on pretty easy. Now, you know why? Because I'm going the wrong way. There we go. There we go. Make sure it doesn't back out. Look at that masterful grip right there you got. You see, that's some professional shit right there, y'all. It's okay, it's okay. Don't worry, girl. Now, you don't want to over tighten this when you get to the bottom. You just want to make the ridges flush with each other. These are machined so they line up. That's how you know you tightened it enough. And if you tighten it past the point those ridges line up at the bottom when the two lips meet, well then you probably messed it up. Double check, make sure it's not backing out. We look good. We look good so far. I'll keep on sending it. Now, because it's starting to get dark, I probably won't do a test run today. I'll probably do that tomorrow in the afternoon whenever it is light out. I'll film that too, that way y'all can see it. I'm going to grab the bottom of the hose and the wrench to keep it from spinning, but we got it now. One more turn, we'll be done. And there you have it, folks. We got the fitting all done. As you can see here, they are lined up. The shoulders are all meeting, all the faces are touching each other. And now, like I said, it's dark. So we're gonna go ahead and fire this up tomorrow when we have some light. And I'm gonna let you guys be a part of that as well. You guys are gonna get to see this tape you're seeing, the aluminum foil tape. Where is it? Where'd it go? I had it here somewhere. It's called Reflectix. It's for just reinforcement in case it starts to rub against the frame. I know it's not a permanent fix. There's probably better ways to do that, like a separator or something, but yeah, I'm cheap. You know, I try to find the easiest way to do things. And yeah, so I'm gonna button everything back up, put the airbox back in and everything, getting everything tightened up, and then tomorrow we're gonna fire her up and you guys are gonna get to witness the cold start. Alright, I will see you guys later. And it's the next day. It is 6 o'clock in the afternoon, and it is currently 60 degrees out right now. We have everything buttoned up and ready to go. And so, without further ado, this was that foil tape that I was telling you guys about. It's called Reflectix ink. But yeah, it works pretty good. It's heat resistant as well. I used it on my oil pan. So let's get this started. We are back, y'all. We're gonna look for some leaks now. Stuff that tissue right there and see if it drips. And hopefully it doesn't. You'll let it get warmed up to operating temps, and then we'll check back in a little bit. And we are back. All right. It has been about 25 minutes. The car is nice and warmed up to operating temp, and it's kind of hard to see in there, but we have no leaks. Yay! We're good to go now. I'm going to take her for a spin. I just made this video because I wanted to share those moments that I had of despair. I think moments of despair is what make people grow. I found some light in those moments of despair, and so I wanted to share that with you guys, and I hope, you know, it helps somebody out there. And I know I've been slacking a little bit on the uploads, but I got my sugar-free gummy recipe about to drop in a little bit. I got to finish editing it, but yeah, that'll be coming here soon. If you want to see that, hit the notification bell. Don't forget to subscribe, do all that crazy stuff, or don't, whatever. It's up to you. You're all grown-ups. You're all adults. Peace out. Hope y'all have a good one.